What's up, guys? Johnny Connier, aka Nasser the Conqueror. So, what possibly happens to us when we die? Um, at this point, I've heard several times that you do not go into the light. That it's a trick. That's what I've heard many, many times. By the way, it's interesting because I saw my friend post up a post on his YouTube about this. And it's interesting because the day before, I was watching like a 3 or 4 part video on TikTok where the guy was saying that there's actually levels to this shit. Not only do you not go into the light and the dark, there's also going to be trickster spirits there. Um, that's something from what I've heard. You know, and it's almost like by doing that, you accept a managerial position in the astral realms or something of some sort. But I can't tell you that for sure at this point. I'm growing just as you guys are. But at this point, I do know that we do go on, or some form of us does go on, based on entities, based on ghost spirits that I've seen. We do go on. It's my hope that by working with deities like, let's say, Lilith or Moloch, or other deity spirits through necromancy or whatever, that they aid you in your passing, by working on your astral form, your astral shell, your apotheosis. Me, I'm gonna have instructions for what I want in the emergency, or in the case that something happens to me here on Earth. There's going to be instructions for that in my new book. It's not going to be too fancy, but long story short, you know, I want people to honor, my sigil or whatever in the case that I pass away. Um, give me a small offer. I want that actually on my tombstone or whatever. I want my sigil placed there. And if you want me to help you, place a sample of your blood or whatever on my sigil. Leave me a double bacon cheeseburger. Leave me some coffee or whatever. Leave me a Diet Coke, and I will promptly help you, sir. But do not be fucking douching on my sigil. Okay. Um, but yeah, we do go on. I do not believe in a heaven or a hell. That's a hindrance in the Christian manner. I believe that's a hindrance. That's bullshit. That was only created for you to power a belief system. That's not even the Christian thought form or whatever. It was made to power that. It has nothing to do with true spirituality or with any kind of reality for that matter. But what I do know is that we do go on, or some form of us goes on. Right now, I'm trying to master my way, like I said, to godhood, or get to the point where I'm not reincarnating up in this crazy son of a bitch. That much I do know right now. Okay, I'm saying right now because I'm still learning, just like you guys. Okay, the truth can probably be found in old grimoires. Look at civilizations that are thousands of years older than ours, religions that are older than ours, spiritual systems that are older than ours, Sumerians, Egyptians. For me, that's true spirituality. Studying across the centuries, studying across the religions, cross-referencing, doing the spiritual work, summoning, evocations. That is how I think you're going to get to the bottom of the truth, or close to it. And that makes for a very enriching life. I got Sagittarius rising. I'm a very optimistic fellow. Me, I'm all for, keep AI under control, but I'm all for it. They say that millennials are aging gracefully, and maybe that's there for a reason. In a way, maybe we are advancing. Maybe we're aging that way because maybe we're going to live longer. Hopefully, if the earth doesn't fuck us up first with all the bullshit that's going on. I'm all for, advancing AI or whatever. I mean, I already find it interesting. I'd be bouncing ideas off of it. It's not 100% accurate, though. I will tell you that. But I have no, I love bouncing ideas off of it. But, I double check, though, because I have found it to be wrong at times. But from the point of view of, like, it benefits a blind person to compose music, or even, like, how can I say this? It's a good, like, how can I say it, to bounce ideas, a conversation or whatever. So I'm actually kind of curious as to, like, the improvements that's gonna bring. I'm just saying. But anyways, those are my thoughts on mortality at this point. All right. But anyways, this is Johnny Khan, aka Not to Conquer. Peace.